Hi friends, how are you doing? I'm Guru Rajan. Off late I was thinking what I would tell my younger self if I met him 30 years back. We talk about a lot of things such as having a mission, vision, being audacious and adventurous. Even though all these are required, I was looking for some practical, simple things that I would tell my younger self if I met him 30 years back. And for all you know, this may be the key for you to improve your personal performance and productivity. So let's dive in straight away. The first thing I would tell my younger self if I met him 30 years back is reduce the number of things on your plate. Psychologically, we think if you do more number of tasks, then we are more efficient. Actually, if you do few things extremely well, then you are being more efficient. And at workplace also, sometimes we are judged by how many things we did in a particular quarter or in a particular year. So I would tell my younger self, put quality over quantity. Reduce the number of things on your plate. Surprisingly, there is a term for this in statistics. We call this as dimensionality reduction. If you have too many variables or too many dimensions for a problem, it becomes too complex to solve. In our urge to do a lot of things, we are so enthusiastic in our young age that we want to be all the things for all the people. You know the Peter Pan story where Peter Pan wants to be the full potential person who never wants to take responsibility or who never wants to take an adventure. And you might have learned about the trends on minimalism. A lot of modern thinkers of the current era, such as Philip Stark, the French designer, Robin Sharma, Anthony Robbins, many of them talk about minimalism. Minimalism is choosing the things that you want to do and be very good at it. A lot of people who are extremely good, who have achieved extraordinary things in life, actually chose a few things to do and excelled in that. So what I would tell my younger self if I met him 30 years back is reduce the number of things on your plate, put quality over quantity. The second thing I would tell my younger self is have a schedule and stick to it. Immediately after you hear the term schedule, you think about I will be tied down, my freedom will be curtailed. Actually, the contrary is true. If you have a schedule, you will have more time to do the things you really like. What gets scheduled eventually gets done. I wanted to do a lot of things in life, and in fact, I had the drive to do that. But if you look at a period of 10 years, I could never accomplish something clearly. And there was always a gap between thought and action, between intention and implementation. And if I really went into why was that gap between thought and action, the real reason was I never wrote it down as a schedule. If you don't want to call it a schedule, I'm fine with it. You can call it as plan of action. If you're not really concerned about hourly or a daily schedule, and if you think it's micromanagement, you can do a weekly schedule. For example, you can say through Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, I will accomplish these things. And towards the weekend, I'll accomplish these things. And write down in a piece of paper and stick to it. That's very important. So in engineering, we always, if you want to do a project, we always break down into tasks, and then we have a start date for end date for the tasks so that we can track it and measure it. If you cannot track it and measure it, how are you going to improve the performance? Let's say that we have a factory or a power plant where a process is going on, and you have to measure and how well the process works. You have to measure the metrics. You have to measure the pressure, volume and temperature. You have to track that metrics to see how well the process works. And what is true in science and engineering is also true in your life, isn't it? The third thing I would tell my younger self if I met him 30 years back is reciprocate acts of kindness and be grateful. You going out and be kind to others is at a different level. I'm not saying that. If someone shows you kindness and if someone is nice with you, you can at least be nice with him and reciprocate that kindness. If I look back 30 years, I was not even doing that. I remember very vividly a person who actually told me I was working in a public sector then, and I was working in the maintenance division. 30 years back this happened, and this senior person in his mid 40s told me, Guru, you are coming in the night time for the next 1 week, and please be careful about vehicles coming from both sides on the track, and it's very important you do that. I just took it as one of those things I hear from somebody, because no, I was not in good terms with him, but he was so nice to point it out. And if I look back 25 years later, I understood the importance of what he wanted to say, and I wanted to thank him. But to my disappointment, he was no longer alive in this planet. So I couldn't say thanks to him. Now, you may ask me, saying thanks, is it so important? But what is in it for me? Okay, fine, I didn't say thanks, but what is in it for me? This is the basic psychology behind being grateful. If you are grateful, you are in a good state of mind. When you are in a good state of mind, when there is an offer or an opportunity that comes your way, you will be able to take the right decision. I'm not saying the decision will always be right, but at least you will be in the right state of mind, right frame of mind to take a decision. So being grateful and being kind as a reciprocative action puts you in a good state of mind, which will help you to arrive at a right decision, and the probability of taking the right decision becomes higher if you are in a state of gratitude. The next thing I would tell my younger self is get physical, go outdoors, have a vacation. See, if you are a kind of person who is a sports buff or a martial arts fan, then probably you might take a class in taekwondo or judo or aikido. You might go for a squash class or a badminton class. You might think, Guru, I'm already in my 40s. What am I going to do? I'm not going to become a champion in badminton. But going for a badminton class puts you in decent level of fitness and decent level of physical health, which will really pay you back in your 50s. I know a senior gentleman in his late 80s, and he used to tell me he goes by cycle. He went by cycle to his office for nearly 20 years. And the distance between the home and office was 4 kilometers. So he used to ride 8 kilometers every day. And I have seen him, he never has any leg pain or any knee pain, even in his late 80s. The physical work that he did in his early 30s and 40s is giving him back in his 70s and 80s. You may have a dream, you may be the right person to fulfill that. But if you are not in the peak of health, how are you going to fulfill your dream? Okay, right, you earned enough, you have an Audi A8, you want to drive on the highway, but if you have a back pain, how are you going to enjoy the drive of the Audi? So you need to be in peak physical fitness, at least in decent physical fitness, in order to enjoy what you have acquired in life. So I would tell my younger self to get outdoors, take a vacation, maybe clean the garage or just clean the garden you have, and then do some little bit of gardening. Maybe at the extreme, even take a garden cleaning or a garage cleaning weekend, maybe twice in a year. So this will actually pay you back in your late 40s and your 50s, or in the extreme case, in a senior gentleman I know, it will pay you back in your late 80s too. The last thing I will tell my younger self, enhance your financial awareness. It means a lot of things to a lot of people. It's such a common topic that everybody wants to say something about it. But for me, having financial awareness means the first thing is keep at least 50% of whatever you earn for you. That's for yourself. In the next level, you might want to know the difference between mutual funds and index funds. You might want to know what is the expense ratio for an index fund. You might want to know what is your tax liability for the ongoing year, and what are the documents you need if you want to buy a house. How will you check if the property is legal or illegal? You might want to know how can you improve on your earning potential. You might want to know what you should do to hold on to your money and invest in better ventures. At least you should know the right questions to ask if you are on your journey to financial awareness. I'll tell you something. If I was financially aware, probably at least in my late 20s, I would have become financially stable, even financially independent at the age of 45, which would have given me enough room to really do the things I like and then hit my peak performance before I'm 50. So not being financially stable is actually an obstacle in your path towards success. So make sure you are financially aware. And you might ask me, Guru, what is the right age to do that? I would say you should start being financially aware right from the age of 15. In short, I wish I knew these 5 things 30 years back. Reduce the number of things on your plate, have a schedule and stick to it, reciprocate acts of kindness and be grateful, do some physical activity, get outdoors and go on a vacation, enhance your financial awareness. I hope these 5 things help to improve your personal productivity and performance. I wish you a great career and success ahead. If you like this video, leave a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.